Hey everyone, I'm Diana Ramirez, Harris County Administrator. Today we're talking about the great work the Harris County Pollution Control Services Department is doing to keep our county and environment clean. Dr. Latrice Babin, Executive Director of PCS, is here with me to share how the department is tackling air, water, and soil quality issues and how they're using some cutting edge tech like the RAAM van to monitor pollution. Dr. Babin, welcome. We're so excited that you're here.
Thank you for having me, Diana.
Appreciate it. So, could you start by telling us a little bit about the Harris County Pollution Control Services Department? Especially, please explain what types of events you respond to and how.
Harris County Pollution Control was established in 1953 by an order of Commissioner's Court. It was established because at the time there were water quality issues that needed to have been addressed, and there was not an agency that was developed to do that at a local level. So it was actually established before the US EPA was established. Yeah. What we do now as a result of our response, we respond to things like fires, explosions at facilities. We also respond to things like truck rollovers, community complaints when they have issues with water quality or air quality issues. It may be something like outdoor burning or things like that.
Mhm.
So that is a major part of how we respond as well.
Excellent. And so, if you can tell us the difference between emergency responders, the first responders, and what your environmental response crews do.
So first responders go into the hot zone and respond in the emergency. Our environmental responders actually respond to the community. We do community-based monitoring. So if there's an event like a fire or an explosion, we remain outside of the hot zone where we monitor for the community for what the community might be exposed to.
So, if it's like a chemical fire, you're monitoring the air quality to see if
Correct.
there's anything that they need to shelter in place or things like that.
Correct. So we also respond by doing water quality as well. So if there's a fire and there's runoff, we also collect samples to make sure that we understand if there's anything in that may harm a receiving stream.
Okay, great, great. So, tell us about your regulatory role and its limits. What can you do and what can't you do?
Pollution control has statutory authority by the state legislature to do air quality as related to the Clean Air Act, water quality as related to the Clean Water Act. We also look at the 30 TAC Administrative Code and then the Texas Solid Waste regulations. We do not write permits and issue permits, but we ensure that conformity with the compliance is there for those laws that are already in place.
Okay, great. And so, so you don't, you can't issue permits or citations or anything like that. But do you work like with the EPA or the Texas, what is it, Council on Environmental Quality?
So we do. We issue violation notices.
Okay.
But what the violation notices do, it lets the subject know that they are not compliant and what regulations they're not compliant with. And that gives them the opportunity to get back in compliance by whatever means they need to do. If it's that they need to update their permit or if they need to stop doing an action that they're currently doing to get in compliance. Those laws are written by the Texas State Environmental Quality. Also, we all look at environmental laws that the EPA has, federal laws.
Right, all the federal laws as well. Okay, great. And so, as you're doing your analysis, right, you have a state-of-the-art laboratory to analyze water, soil, and solid waste samples. Can you tell us more about the types of testing you conduct in this lab?
So, essentially, we look at things like soil for VOCs or volatile organic compounds. The same thing for air. We can do the same extractions for water, but usually a lot of our water samples are related to BACT, so bacterial contaminants that may help us identify whether wastewater is properly processed before it's discharged into a receiving stream.
Okay, great. And then one of the most innovative tools that PCS has is the Rapid Ambient Air Monitoring Unit, also known as RAAM. Could you tell us more about the RAAM van and the technology that it uses to monitor air quality?
I'm excited about the RAAM. The RAAM is a mobile unit that has laboratory grade equipment on it, and it can roll and do analysis while it's rolling, or you can park it and be stationary. What that allows us to do is we can use that in the event of an emergency where there may be smoke that may be going into a community. We can roll through and see if there's anything that might be impacting the community. We can use that on emergency events like that. We can also use it on blue sky days where there's nothing really happening, just to understand what the air quality is in a general area.
Oh, great. And so how many of these units do you have right now? And are you getting any new ones?
So we have one, and we are looking to get another very soon. What it will allow us to do, eventually we'd like to get one for each precinct so that we can roll around every area because the county is so large, but it will allow us to understand what communities are being exposed to on a daily basis. Some areas have heavy traffic, some have a lot of industrial activity combined with heavy traffic, and so the air quality is slightly different. And what makes the difference is really what the meteorological wind patterns are, and that impacts what air quality is in an area as well.
Okay, excellent. And so you also do some great educational work in the community. I'm excited about that. So tell us about that and your plans for more engagement with the community.
So our communications group goes out. They're excited to go out to schools and they talk to elementary age kids about what we do. They've also created an innovative program where they go to libraries, so they're able to reach homeschool children as well. And they bring things like books to bring them to awareness of what environmental issues are. It helps them have conversations with their parents, so their parents know some things about recycling, things about air quality issues, and it helps bring the whole family involvement in those issues.
Oh, that's nice. I love that. I love that. And so our final question, what's your favorite part of your job? I mean, you know, you're a scientist, you have a PhD, but you're also actually the administrator running a whole department. So, you know, how do you balance that?
So honestly, it's every day is different. You know, you go in and you don't really know from an environmental part what's going to happen in the day, because it could be a calm day where everything is quiet, or you could have an event where there's an emergency and you have to get engaged for emergency response. But I think that having that science background helps me to understand those different analytical tests that are needed. It helps me to understand how to break that information down to the community into levels that, you know, all aspects of the community from children to scientists can understand and convey that information. It also helps me be the voice of people that don't really know that they have that voice, to help empower them, to give them that voice and that information so they can utilize that to help themselves rally for themselves in their environmental issues.
That's fantastic. It's super exciting. I really love the work that you do. And I thank you so much for being with us here today, Dr. Babin. You know, this was an insightful conversation, and for all the work you're doing to protect your environment, I appreciate you and all of your staff. If you want to learn more about how you can get involved or stay informed, be sure to visit their website at pcs.harriscountytx.gov. And as some of you may know already, I'll be retiring from the county at the end of the month. It has truly been an honor to serve our community and to work alongside some of the brightest public servants I've ever had the pleasure of working with. I'm also pleased to share that Commissioner's Court has appointed Jesse Dickerman as the interim county administrator. He brings a wealth of experience and a deep commitment to public service, and I'm confident the county will be in excellent hands moving forward. We'll be introducing Jesse in an upcoming video, so stay tuned for that. Thank you again for tuning in. Please stay safe and continue taking care of the environment and each other.